Hey gamers, mums and dads, today we are playing Fall Guys and we've got 5 amazing tips to help you win more matches. Not just to win the matches, but also to increase the number of crowns you've got so you can get them in other ways other than winning. So we'll show you how, because a lot of people just think it's just wins, but it's not. We have accumulated over the last 2 weeks 29 crowns, as you'll see when it loads in the top left hand corner. We also unlocked the battle pass. Again, it took us about 2 weeks to get from the start to the end, and it's definitely worth unlocking it because it does help you with your crowns. As you can see, we've got the big battle pass skin, or whatever you call it, a mechanoid bean. And we've got 29 crowns, you see in the top left. You need 4,500 to get the top skin, but 29 is not bad, we don't think, in 2 weeks. Let us know down below how many you've got. Now, the majority of these tips will help you whatever format you're on. However, we're playing on the Xbox, and the first major tip is for Xbox players. And I guess if you're on a PS5, the same will work for you. Now, the main issue with crowns is that you have to win a match to get a full crown if you're playing on like solo. And with 60 people in a game, the chances are, if you're in a general match, you're going to have someone who's been a bit naughty, they'll be floating, jumping too far and all that lot. So the first tip of the day is to get rid of as many cheats as you can, and on the Xbox and the PS5 that is a nice easy way to do it. And not only that, the people you play against will also just be on the Xbox or PS5, so you won't have the keyboard clickers against you, you'll just have the controller friends, and I think it makes it a lot easier. In fact, it definitely makes it a lot easier. So, to only play Xbox people, if you press on the 3 lines in the top right hand corner and go to options, you'll see cross-play, matchmaking. Turn that off. Okay? It does tell you that it will take longer to matchmake, but if you're playing in a busy time, you will not notice a difference. And what you will notice when you're playing is either you're playing against 40 people, not 60, and the number of cheats is definitely lower. Tons lower. And if there's no one cheating, then you've got a lot better chance of winning. This also helps when you have to get through daily events such as qualify for the next round. It's so much easier to qualify on the Xbox, I found, than on a general one. We do normally play on the normal one when we're just having a laugh because it's quick games and we can just play. But if you're dedicated to trying to get a win, then turn off the cross-play. So it probably took about 10 seconds longer than normal. But say, give it a go. It definitely makes a difference. The second tip, as you probably saw there, is use the obstacles. Sometimes they're in your way, but as you saw that we just got thrown across all of the frontage there because it was pointing in the right direction. If it's pointing in the right direction, just go for it. Now, another big tip, and these are side tips rather than the major ones, is your gameplay. If you're winning, I think we're near the front here, but if you're winning, take the safe option if you're after qualification. If you're miles behind, then take the risky option. So I've come this way. It's not bad, first game recording, we're going to win it. So there's 42 in the game instead of 60, so that gives you a head start already. That's because of crossplay really, and it's only loaded in 40 because it's taking a little bit longer. As long as you get to 40, you're fine. Anyway, the reason I've got to the end of the first session is to show you when you get the rewards, when you finish the battle pass, it's different if you haven't finished the battle pass. So as you can see, after completing the battle pass, instead of getting XP, you actually get crown shards, 8, 18, 30. So that's half a crown in a day just by playing a show, playing that type of show, qualifying from rounds. And one massive thing though, and this is where we're going to do tip number 2 of how to get more crowns. Look at how many shards there are on the marathon quests. Now you still have 28 days from now, so if you're watching this you've got a month to do it. If you're watching it later, apologies, but look at what you have to do to complete them. You'll be sort of knocking these off as you play, so 150,000 metres in race rounds. If you're playing on solo, then that's easy to complete. Dive 1,000 times in survival rounds. Now how we did this is that we had there was the daily event, or the special event, where it was the jump over the sort of barriers, whatever you call it, and so I just played it and just dived all the time. Then there was the special event where you were throwing the balls at each other. Didn't actually play, I just went on, loaded it and just dived, and you can do about 100 70, 80, depending on which round you get through to. You can do that pretty quickly, but it is quite tedious, but you can get through it. And every time you see a survivor round like we just had on there, just dive a couple of times and that will soon finish it off. But it's 2 crowns if you do it, so that really does help. Qualify from any round in any show, just play, but like the Clan of Yeetus the other day, 30 people were joining and 29 people were qualifying from the first round, so pick what you play in and that will speed it up. That's 2.5 crowns for that one. Reach round 3 in any show, again the Clan of Yeetus, you got to round 3 every single time unless you had a complete nightmare. Again, pick the right shows and then it's easier to get through it. You can see how many crowns we've got here. Reach the final round in any show, same really as the round 3 tip. Again, Clan of Yeetus, we'd have done this one before that came up. Clan of Yeetus, you get to final every single time. And at least a gold medal in any round. Survivor ones are the best, so this is better on solo round because you've got more survivals. But there are also survival games in the special events as well, so if you can get through those, they'll give you a gold medal. And win any show, I think it was 5. We won 3 properly, but at the time there was the sweet hoarding one where it was 2 teams, Team A versus Team B. Now if you won as a team, you got that shard, so if you see any events, team events, and it's just a 50-50 chance whether you win or not, just smash that 5 times and you'll get 240 shards, which is 4 crowns, and that'll take you right up the battle pass. So tip 2 is to do your dailies once you've got the battle pass, complete the battle pass, and make sure those marathon events you have a good go at, and there's quick cheating ways to do the marathon when just pick the right game that you need to do. So as to sum that up, you don't actually have to get a full crown to win, just get the shards and it all adds up. I'll head into a game because there's some tips actually in game if we get the right levels. Some levels are just easier to show you on than others. But tip 3 pretty much is, it says run the right way on my notes. That sounds pretty obvious. But when you're on a swirly thing, go the right way around the swirly thing. But also, when you're coming up to certain obstacles, if you run at them from a certain direction, then you'll get across them easier, and that's what we're going to try and show you now. Right, perfect, this is a great one to show you. Also remember, I've got crossplay off and I didn't even notice, it just loaded up straight away. So right, so here we are, so you can see which way it's turning. So this is turning from right to left now, people will be overtaking me now. But if you start on the right, just run across, you've got a much better chance of doing it. If I do the opposite way, look, so this is going left to right, so you should start on the left here, but if you start on the right, the chances of falling off, didn't do that on purpose, chances of falling off are so much easier. So next tip 3 is, go at it from the right, run in the right direction. So you want to start on the right hand side, and even if you get bumped a few times. So this one here is going from left to right, so we'll start on the left. Just helps you get through. So we got eliminated, but as you saw, if you're walking from the right direction, if you just walk across it, it's fine, you've got a chance, but just to increase this slight chances of getting through, walk from left to right. There was also the bigger swingy things left to right, so if you follow it and walk through it, then again, it helps you get through to the other end. It's all about just not getting hit by stuff, really. So we've got the Clan of Yeetus on here, and this is going to help with the 4th tip, so I'm going to pop on here. Because it's one of the smaller games, I'm going to turn crossplay back on, just for the speed of everything. The Clan of Yeetus is probably off when you're watching this, but the door yeet, the easiest way to win this is just to use play normal door, and then when you get to the last hitty thing, get a good hit on it, and you'll fly past everyone. When this is the final, that's when you can clock up the wins, but it's only 10 crown shards, which is a shame. So tip 4, we saw it right at the beginning really, is to pretty much help the obstacles get you forward, because you run pretty slowly, but there are some obstacles that absolutely smash you forward. But I think we'll still make it. So here's a nice fast one, so you just got to jump into it. Bing! Whee! Oh, 12 seconds. Oh. Should still make it. Oh, we got a griefer. If people grief like that, just report them. The more people get reported, I'm not sure if that's actually do anything, but press Y, report player, griefing. Anyone who just stands at the finish line, there's just no point in them being there. There's no advantage of just qualifying on in last place. So tip 4 is use the obstacles. If something's hitting you, as long as it's going in the right direction, use it. You do need a bit of luck sometimes because it can fire off in a random direction, but You know, with the hammers, jump into the hammers. With the things that spinning round, as long as you're going in that direction, then it will help you forward. One other side tip is you see the finish line on here with the circles and the arrows. If you land on the arrow, just stop and then you can jump yourself into the gold. Easier said than done, I know, but... Whee! Oh, land on it, look. Oh no, I didn't do it right, but you can just sort of jump through into the next one. Whee! Oh, I'm on it. Oh, if I had skills, but you know what I mean. From there you can easily get into gold. Right, last point really is two little tricks. Again, one's in settings. So if we go into settings, which is the 3 lines, and you can see here, grab ledges automatically. Now that annoys some people, but I think it's great. So if you're trying to jump up to something, you will automatically grab it. Now, it took me ages in the game to realise what you can and can't grab. Like the seesaws, I don't think you can grab them. If you fall off, you fall off. But some things like massive ledges that you can grab onto, whether this works on the swing or not, I don't think so. I think you still have to grab that one, but it does help for the silly little things in your way. And the final tip is to use the dive. So if you've got the hoops, or the Yeetus one, in fact let's go into Yeetus and then we can show you the dive. So there's a lot of levels where you have to jump through hoops, and if you're not quite at the hoop, you're just about there, then use the dive. So dive isn't used very often in the game, but it really does help if you're trying to get through the hoops, and we'll show you the similar on this. So the dive is quite important in this game in certain aspects, so watch this. So I'm just going to run off the end here and jump. Right, so I'm just going to jump. Oh, I didn't quite make it, but, and this is, you know, one use of many in the game. If I run and then dive now, look, at least I got in bronze. So try that again. I might even get even further if people aren't in my way. So that's silver. So diving does help. It's even better if you get hit by something. Straight through the middle. So don't forget, use the obstacles. Jump. I'll have that one. Oh, 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 jump, jump. Down we go. Right, so while we're waiting for this level to end, so the top 5 tips are: number 1, turn off crossplay. If it's quick, then go for it and play on solo and that lot, and you will get a lot more wins. Get rid of the cheats, get less players in the game. Definitely worth doing. If you want more crowns, don't forget the crown shards. So do the marathon events, and there's quick ways to do them by doing the right shows. It will speed it up for you. That's the second one. Third one is to use the obstacles. If it hits you in the right way, jump for the Yeetus, etc. That's a really good tip. Fourth one is run the right way. So if something's going one way, if you follow it along, then there's a lot better chance you'll get from one end to the other without being hit off. We do have certain tips for specific levels, which we can do a video on. Hexagon is one great one. I mean, it's the easy way to win it is just to stay at the top level and jump from one to the other, but we all make mistakes. If you do make a mistake, what is best to do on Hexagon is go down a couple of levels and completely wipe the floor out. So when people do make mistakes too and they fall down, they will fall past you because you've made a massive hole and then you're above them, and when you're above them you've got the advantage then, and then you can either just keep jumping and hope that the other person makes a mistake before you, or you can jump down onto their level, whichever way they're going, and clear the floor just in front of them and then hope it takes them by surprise and they fall through. The other good one, that's the snowball one in a big bowl with lots of holes. There seems to be so many people get wiped out on that game. The best bet to do is just to go into a corner where there's 3 safe ones with lots of areas around you that aren't smashed yet, and just stand there and watch the snowballs, and if they're coming at you then move out the way. Usually you get some other player just wiping out the things behind you to cause a big hole. If it happens, just go around to the next lot of greens where you can actually just stand there and watch, and you find but that takes out so many people, that level. And it's, you know, if you stand and watch the snowballs, it makes it so much easier. Oops, not going to make it. So I'm just running forward now, not even using my own tips. And that's what happens. So you should run. Oh, you should run at the right place. So I hope you found this video very useful. If you've got any questions or any comments, just put it down below, and if we can answer them, then we certainly do. We answer every single comment that's put down, as long as it is nice and polite. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!